CJ, a pair of wins over the weekend against a tough Grand Rapids club. How nice is it to finally play again at Canada Life Centre and get 2 home wins to start the homestand?
It was awesome. The atmosphere was really fun, with all the fans. We haven't had that in a while. But just being able to come out with 2 wins and get that extra point and overtime there in the shootout. So that's huge for us going forward and building momentum into the season.
Losing Ville-Nola so early in the first period and the rest of the game, really, that's obviously tough for everyone on the team. But how do you guys think you stepped up in his absence, with a short bench?
Especially on the back end, the D really battled through that, and they are still making plays towards the end of the game to kind of keep us afloat there. And I think for the most part, we did a pretty good job of keeping it in tight and not allowing much. Arvid, he really helped us out too in his first game. That was huge for him to get. And overall, I thought we battled pretty good with the absence.
And then the offense too. I mean, just the amount of shots, the sheer volume of shots has been very high, even on the road trip. What's been, I guess, clicking for the forwards just to be getting that many shots on goal so early on in this season?
I think it's being able to roll our lines and staying on their D, being hard on the forecheck and starting from there and really gaining that O time to really get pucks to the net and get on their goalies.
Mark made mention of how you found this group to be very competitive. Do you think this is, over your last couple of years being here, this is a group that sticks out in that regard? And how so is it different than years past?
I think it's kind of similar to last year, to be honest. We got a lot of the main core group back from last year, and I think we kind of brought that battle. Coming in last year, we really didn't know what we had, and I felt like we were able to transition that into kind of a hard work and gritty group. And I think bringing pretty much all those guys back kind of transitioned into this year, and we were able to roll off that, and I think that's a big part of it. And so I'd say it's kind of similar to last year, yeah.
I guess in a way, was last year like the best team bonding you guys could have ever had, even though it wasn't necessarily your choice?
Right. Kind of under those circumstances, you have to make the best with what you have, and we were able to come close on the road and when we were able to, and really create those relationships. When you're not able to go do much outside of the rink, you really enjoy coming to the rink that much more.
How have you felt you guys have played so far in the year?
I thought we played pretty well. We're kind of getting into our systems and kind of getting the hang of it. But right away, I think we're defensively sound, and we've been really hard on their forecheck, and ultimately that's going to be our game moving forward. So I think if we stick to that, I think it's going to be pretty good, and it's worked out for us so far.
It must be easier to play on that game and be hard on the forecheck when your D are so mobile. How big have they been for you forwards to do your job?
It's huge. When we can get that first outlet pass, it makes our job a lot easier, right? And being able to get to that open ice and make the next play is really big for them. And they've been kind of a rock back there so far, and hopefully they can keep it going.
You guys are a really deep team this year in a lot of areas. Obviously that brings competition, and there's spots to be won, and not everyone wants opportunity. But how nice is it, or confident invoking is it, to be able to go out there and be put in whatever situation? And you have some really good players along your side, no matter what. Yeah,
exactly. It's always reassuring that you can pretty much trust anyone you put out on the ice, and that you're out there with. If one guy gets stuck out there, you're not afraid to go out there with anyone else. So I think it's really nice to kind of have that freedom and have that mobility throughout the lines.